Welcome to Trivia Viral. Our channel covers all the latest analysis and recaps on TV shows and movies, as well as interesting stories and facts that you may not have known. So sit back, relax, and subscribe to our channel if you have been enjoying our videos so far. One day there is a nurse living in a small town. She is about to become a surgical nurse and have friends who don't want to be surgical nurses, it seems, because they are very busy. She approached one of his patients and offered his condolences to the mother of a man who was gone. But the man did not accept the remarks and hoped that his mother would still be alive with him despite the pain. She and her friend thought that the man had always loved her mother because the man always visited and accompanied her mother in the hospital. She wanted to buy a new house and was looking at the house with a property agent. She liked the double oven on the wall and looked back at the rest of the room. This video is sponsored by QD. QD is Asia's largest platform for students, tutors, and coaches to find and book lessons online or offline, all from a single platform. Sign up at QD today. In addition to being a nurse, she has a hobby of baking. She was decorating a cake for tonight's event along with other nurse friends. At the party venue, her friend was surprised by the results of her homemade cake. His friend has a bad habit that is sordid. He ate his birthday cake using chips. Her friend sets her up on a blind date with a man. She hopes that this surgical nurse can match up with men on the blind date. Her friend was so supportive of her that it made the nurse confused with her attitude. On the day of the date, while she's still getting ready, she finds someone outside her porch, whom she assumes is her blind date man, and invites him in. She offers him lemonade and goes into her bedroom to finish dressing. When she comes out of her room, she sees he is blocking the door. Beginning to feel uneasy, she asks him to leave and come back later for their date. He refuses and walks to the door and locks it. He then attacks and rapes her. Later, he is seen running away from the house as someone else comes to the door and knocks. The door is slightly open and the other man comes in calling out for her. It turned out that the original blind date man just came over and brought flowers for her. He finds her in the kitchen and calls the police. The police suspected the man who reported was the culprit, but it was not proven. The nurse is next seen in the hospital, having a rape kit and photos taken by the police. Police ask if she had ever seen the man before, and she says that actually she had. The rapist was then arrested at his workplace, and a fingerprint test was carried out to equate the fingerprints on the evidence found. They promptly go and arrest the rapist. She tries to carry on with her life normally. Her real estate agent tells her that they can't sell her house now as no one wants to buy a house where someone was just raped. While icing a cake at home, she notices a tremor in her right hand and realizes that she can't work in surgery because of it. He also got a gift from his friend in the form of a surgical toy, but it turns out that when he tries to play it, he always fails because of his tremorous hands. A surgeon should not have tremors of hands, so he begins to give in to his state. She decides to write a letter to the rapist in prison. The nurse's letter to the rapist keeps being returned to sender. She continues to resend the letter and finally receives a response and goes to visit the rapist. He apologizes repeatedly for what he did to her, and she begins to visit him regularly. They become friendly and flirt with each other during her visits. She visited the rapist in prison several times while still mailing each other. She also had time to send a card containing her photo to the man. While in prison, the rapist has also been abusing his cellmate without the knowledge of the officers and is eventually released on parole. Meanwhile, when he is released, the rapist sends her flowers and makes plans to visit her. When he arrives at her porch, she puts him to work fixing up the porch of her house. They continue to flirt, but she never allows him into her house. The rapist renovated the woman's house and helped her lift the large flower pot. The man promised to patch the leaky roof in his house. The man bought paint for the woman's house in the building shop where his father worked. The man turned out to have a bad disposition to the cashier in the store. The woman's father realizes who he is and charges over to the nurse's house to warn her he is out of prison. Her father scolded the woman for allowing the man who had raped her to come to her house. When he realizes the rapist has been to the house, they have an argument. The woman explained that all will be well. Then his father was disappointed with him and left to leave him. The man called her while she was in the bathroom. The man said he learned of the woman's incident with her father, but the woman convinced the man to be calm and believes her that her father not going to show up in few days. One day, the rapist returned to the woman's house and corrected his house. She gave the rapist a lemonade. The man helped to paint the chair with a strange whimsical whiff. She was a little frightened and traumatized by what the man did to her. After working on the porch, the rapist says he is not feeling well and begs to be allowed to use the bathroom. She reluctantly agrees, and upon entering the house, he collapses. When he wakes up, he finds himself strapped to a bed in the basement. She admits to poisoning him with antifreeze in his lemonade. Over the next few hours, she operates, and when he wakes up, When anyone comes, he silences the man's mouth with a plaster so as not to make a sound. It turned out that the one who came was a package man. The package contained the poison that he was going to give to the man. The woman leads him to believe she has amputated his left hand, taunting him with a fake one and asking what matters to him. She tells him that she also poisoned her father's dog and allowed her mother to die. He then passes out again as she rolls over a surgical tray. The woman also searched the man's bag and found that the man had an unkind plan for her. It is later revealed that she actually castrated him. The film ends with the nurse visiting her father, stating that the rapist will not be coming around anymore.
What are your thoughts about the story? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe if you would like to see more similar videos, and give us a thumbs up to get more recommendations of our videos. Be the first to watch the latest videos by clicking the bell icon. See you on the next video.